Hey guys, good morning. So today's lesson starts on page 348. Essential question. How can you write a percent greater than 100 or less than 1 as a fraction and as a decimal? So starting with example 1. Jan and Kim built model cars for a science project. Kim's car traveled 140% as far as Jan's car. How can you write 140% as a fraction and as a decimal? The distance Jan's car traveled represents the whole, or 100%. As you can see, Kim traveled 140%. So greater than 100%, or the one whole, right? This is where one whole is. So obviously 140% is greater, right? So we're gonna take a look at how the book shows us how to convert 140% as a fraction. Okay, so obviously you guys can see and read that, follow it yourself, but I'm gonna go ahead and explain it here. So 140%. Remember that percent means out of 100. So that means that I have to put 140 over 100, right? And we clearly see that 140 and 100 end in 0, which means it's divisible by either 10s or 20s. But obviously remember, when we want to simplify a fraction, we want to simplify by the greatest common factor so that you only divide once. So I'm going to divide the top by 20 and the bottom by 20. Ready? So we're going to count 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. So 5 20s make 100. So I'm going to bring it down right here. So my denominator is 5. So again, how many 20s make 100? 5. Well, so we're at 5 20s, so that's 100, 120, 140. So 2 more 20s make 140, so that makes a total of 7, right? Well, if you notice here, we have what we call an improper fraction, right? Improper fraction. Well, what do we do with improper fractions? We can't leave them as improper fractions. We have to divide the top by the bottom. 5 goes into 7 one time. 1 times 5 is 5. 7 take away 5 makes 2. Right? So 1 and 2/5. So depending on, I guess, your answer choices, right? Here we don't really have answer choices. So if you don't see this answer on the test, then that means that our answer has been converted into a mixed fraction, right? So if you notice here, they're using just division. So here you have 140 over 100. So instead of simplifying, we go straight to division. You divide 140 divided by 100, which gives you 1.4. So remember here, again, we are simply dividing. Well, how is it that here we only got 7/5 and 1 2/5. Well, guess what? 1 2/5 so 1 2/5. How is 1 2/5 1.4? Well, let's see. I can either take this, the fraction piece, and divide it. 2 divided by 5. Remember, when we divide fractions, we always divide top by the bottom. So 5 does not go into 2, which means I got to add a decimal and a 0. Bring up my decimal. 5 does not go into 2. 5 goes into 20. 4 times 5 times 4 is 20, and no remainder. So now do you see where the 1.4 comes in this second method? Right? When you divide 140 by 100, it takes you straight to your decimal. But if you were here at this mixed fraction, then you can also take that mixed fraction by simply dividing the fraction piece to get your decimal piece. Remember, there's a 1, which is your whole number. So all you do is add the 1, your whole number, and your 4/10. And now you have a decimal.